Good day everyone, we are the Group 4 and today we'll present our case study about Apple financial challenges and its growth opportunities as it expands production in India. For our objectives to assess the financial implications of Apple's dependencies on China in its India expansion strategies, to identify financial risk and opportunities related to Apple's India-based production and export, to propose financially sustainable strategies for maintaining profitability amid supply chain constraints, to recommend an implementation plan that strengthens Apple's financial resilience and support long-term growth in India.
Even with these achievements, Apple still faces several financial and operational problems in its India expansion. Financially, production in India costs 5 to 10% more than in China. This is because Indian factories still rely on expensive imported components from China, and the local supply chain is not yet fully developed. Another problem is the shortage of key materials such as rare earth metals, which are important for iPhones and AirPods. These shortages can delay production and increase costs. Operationally, Apple experiences issues with product quality, slower logistics, labor regulations, and insufficient infrastructure. Indian factories sometimes face low production yield, meaning many products don't pass Apple's strict quality standards. These problems increase cost, reduce efficiency, and make it difficult for Apple to fully transfer production from China to India. Apple remains one of the strongest companies in the world financially. In the fiscal year 2024, Apple's total revenue reached $383 billion, and its net income was around $97 billion. India's contribution to Apple's growth is becoming increasingly important. Exports from India reached $12.1 billion, with 70% of iPhones produced in India being exported. This data shows that India is slowly becoming a major production hub for Apple. However, Apple's continued dependence on China for key parts and materials still creates risk. Improving India's supply chain will be essential to maintain financial stability and growth.
Risk and cost benefit. Apple move to India bring both significant risk and great opportunity. Risks include continued dependence on China for important component, infrastructure limitation in India, political and labor challenge that may delay production. However, there are also strong benefits. Lower labor costs, which help reduce overall expenses. Higher export potential as Indian export has already doubled. Government incentive under the Make in India program that give Apple tax benefits and financial support. These benefits show that even Apple pays short-term difficult, the long-term result can be very rewarding. After analyzing the situation, our group proposed three possible solutions for Apple to overcome its financial challenge. First, Apple should invest more in developing local supply chain in India. Second, Apple can negotiate with the Indian government. Third, Apple should diversify its source of materials.
Among the three solutions, our group recommends investing in the local supply chain as the best strategies for Apple. This approach is more sustainable and practical because it directly addresses Apple's biggest problems, its dependencies on China. By helping Indian manufacturers grow, Apple can gradually reduce cost, improving quality, and strengthens its supply stability. This plan also supports India's Make in India programs, which aims to attract global companies and boost local manufacturing. It's a win-win situation. Apple's reduce risk while India benefits from job creation and technological growth. Apple's implementation plan is divided into three phases. In the short term, the company will start small, building partnership with local suppliers and working closely with the Indian government for tax breaks and import cost reduction. During the medium term, Apple will expand this partnership and invest in the better logistic and quality control system to improve efficiency. Finally, in the long term, Apple aims to become fully independent in the India by producing most part locally and exporting more products worldwide. By consistently reviewing performance and maintaining high standards, Apple ensures that these plans will lead to long-term financial stability and reduce dependence on China.
In conclusion, Apple's experience in India shows that the global expansion is not easy. The company faces higher costs and operational challenges, but the long-term benefits are much greater. By investing in local suppliers, diversifying its resource, and strengthening partnerships with the India government, Apple can reduce dependency on China and secure a more stable and profitable future.